Hey, what's up guys, Little Man with a Big Opinion here. Today's video I'm going to talk about putting away food and how cheap it can be, and the thought process that I have in front of me is definitely something that I think every single person can do, because it's going to cost you less than $5 to do it. There are more cost-effective ways that we'll talk about throughout the video. But before I get into it, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, like the video if you like this individual video, and share the channel with your friends and family. And also, leave your comments down below. If it's a question, I'll answer it or turn it into a video. Or, I'm not perfect. I leave stuff out. There might be better ways to do something, and, we're always learning here together. So, in front of me, I have a empty 1-pound bag of lentils. I also have a empty 1-pound bag of long grain white rice. I actually have 2 other ones because I bought them in pairs. The lentils came from Brookshire's and they were 99 cents. And the rice came from Walmart and it was 92 cents. What we need to pay attention to on the nutritional facts is there's roughly 1,600 calories in this bag, and there are roughly, I think it was 1,300 calories in the bag of lentils. The caveat that I'll say on that is you can pick your bean of choice. It can be a kidney bean, it can be a pinto bean, it could be black beans, brown beans. If you want to, there are places that sell like a 7-bean or a 14-bean soup, and you can do that one as well. But having a bean is going to provide a decent level of protein, and having the rice is going to provide a decent level of, carbs and fuel. So the next part of this is I have 1-pint jars that I put this into. Roughly half of the bag fits in the jar. Maybe 40% of the bag fits in the jar, because from the 2 pounds of rice and the 2 pounds of lentils, I got the 2 full pints of the rice, the 2 full pints of the lentils. The rice fills up another one, about 2/3, and the lentils just about fill up another one. So this right here is a good rough estimate of the amount of calories you need to eat in a single day. Buying these same jars at Walmart, you can get them in a pack of 12. It's going to be around $11, or it comes out to 78 cents a jar. One side note to keep into consideration is freeze these kind of things, leave them in your freezer for 3 to 5 days, and that's going to kill any of the bug eggs that you don't see on the food. What that's going to do is, with these different types of dried beans or the rice, is as long as the jar isn't compromised, the lid doesn't rust out, this food should keep, the science says indefinitely. Most people say 25 years, but either way, an extremely long amount of time. So this comes out to roughly $2.56 a day to provide the basic calories that you need. Most of your macros, not quite all of your micros, but you have something on the shelves that will keep you alive in that grid down situation. Another thing to keep in mind with storing the food like this is, for all of the rice and beans that you put away, you also need to have some sort of plan to store the water needed to cook these. It's going to consume a decent amount of water. So also having something in place that you can heat the water up is also important. So whatever fuel type works for you, go with that. And multiplying the math on doing it this way, it comes out to about $75 to have a 1 month supply. This is your safety net. If you ate this for 30 days, you would probably not want to eat rice or beans ever again. So the other thing to keep in mind with this is having a wide variety of seasonings, because you can probably have 7 or 8 different ways to season this combo, and that breaks up the monotony of it. I like to do rice, beans, and oats because that is like my safety net. I hit a year of stocking up stuff like this. Got 7 or 8 5-gallon jugs that I keep full of water, and those 7 or 8 are dedicated to the food side. I've got the 55-gallon drum and 7 or 8 other 5-gallon jugs to put towards the drinking water and using the water for other things, like making a cup of tea. Doing this way, if you're trying to determine this cost on a monthly basis, and you're wanting to steadily get stuff, you get paid weekly, you buy 1 container of the mason jars. That's going to run you about $11, and you can buy it $2 at a time for a bag of rice and a bag of beans, and you can definitely make this work for spending roughly $5 a week or $25 a month. And at the end of that time period, you'll have stored 10 to 15 days worth of food. Multiply that by an entire year, even on the low end at 10 days worth of food a month, you're looking at 120 days for the year. You've got about a third of the year covered, or 4 months worth of food. You hit that 1 year mark, and then you start sprinkling in seasonings. Salt and pepper goes a long way to making food taste better. And it's also on a relatively cheap side, and I'll go into that on another video where I talk about, seasonings and stuff to make your food not terrible. And there are other things out there that I'll make videos on as well. But this is the simplest and cheapest way that you can, almost nickel and dime your preps. Now, that being said, buying the rice 92 cents per pound, you're spending about 5.5 cents an ounce. The more effective way is going to Sam's, picking up a 50-pound bag of rice, and right now they're going for $25.88, at least in my area. Other areas it might be a little bit higher. Doing it that way, your cost goes from 5.5 cents per ounce down to a third of a penny an ounce. And those prices are steadily going up. I did 5-gallon buckets of rice, and when I bought the rice at that time, I was getting them for like $17.99. So it's still a relatively affordable option. And like everything you do, buying it in bulk, the price is going to go down. Buying the 20 round box of 5.56 is going to be more expensive than buying the 500 rounds. But most people can't just go out and buy 500 rounds at a time, and you feel more comfortable, buying the 2 boxes a week than you do saving up and getting the 500 all at once, because you never know when the bad thing's going to happen. So that's also why it's really important to budget and plan these things out. That way you can purchase larger quantities at a time. But if you got to do it this way, you've got to do it this way. Something to keep in mind, I got this 12-pack of mason jars from a guy at work because I went to his house and helped him clear out an area. Basically every tree that was less than 4 inches in diameter, we chainsawed them up, cut them into pieces of firewood, and he went into his storage shed and said, "Hey, you seem like the person that will benefit from these," and he gave me that, even though I, offered to help him for free. So you can definitely get these for cheaper. Look out at garage sales and thrift stores, and humans are going to barter forever. I don't think that's something that's ever going to go away. So for some of this stuff, there is that possibility that you can get it for even cheaper. But that's something that, if you're going to do it, the cheap way, you can feel really good that you spent about $5. And so we've got 1 day's worth of food, 2 days worth of food, and we can maybe stretch this to a 3rd day's worth of food. And then the last thing I'll say about this is, storing it like this is great. You can store it in 1-gallon Mylar bags, 5-gallon Mylar bags, half-gallon mason jars. But doing it this way, you can also, use this in a, barter, helping other people out, without totally letting them know, all of your logistics. If you came out with a half-gallon jar and you were filling up a cup for them, they at least know you've got, 10 or 12 cups worth of rice, and you're only giving them one. If you come out with something like this, they have no idea if you have, 5 more jars like this or 50 more jars like this. So that'll help out with operational security as well. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this method. If this helped you out, it helps kind of break down, I said in my video the other day, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So if you're still kind of on the fence about prepping, or, you feel like it's going to cost a lot to do it, what I just showed you is like $6 worth of, food and storage options. Subscribe to the channel, that always helps out, and then share it with your friends and family. But with that, catch you in the next one.